there's a bug about changing things, so now you have to press control instead of V to tell your team to get away.
Oh,
That's
no.
the worst point possible.
Big nerf
Come
to
back
Vici.
to me!
Fruscuren's gone. You're
Yeah.
never going to get her back until the end of the game.
There we go. She's going to come back.
Yeah. Snake and Vici, though, we're into champion select for game 1 here. And you and me, Raz, are in for the long haul. You sat at home yesterday.
Yeah.
Now you just get to experience the whole thing all over again.
You have been conditioned for this madness.
Indeed. Malzahar, Ivan, and Jace banned out from Snake. And Camille, LeBlanc, and Varus in from Vici.
The Ivern makes a lot of sense. Snake will look to get the best jungle pick that they could possibly have.
Rengar Graves.
There we go. Meanwhile, Vici, they do a lot of work on the Ivern, and that's one of those picks that you do not want to give to Vici, because then suddenly they do have a head on their shoulders. You get the Ivern, you have the Cassiopeia, suddenly everything, and of course Endless is going to be playing Caitlyn, so they've seen that before, and they're not going to let it happen.
So Vici now, they still have Graves. They're not going to be too unhappy, but you know, Bengi would like the priority in that one. There you go, Graves locked in. What else is a no-brainer pick for Vici? Are we looking towards ADCs? Probably.
Yeah, Varus is gone. I would say the Caitlyn should be a priority. I think that Endless is fine playing the Ezreals. Either way, it looks like they're just going to look to prioritize the support picks.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a lot of first rotation Karma, so I shouldn't be surprised about that.
Karma coming in on that first rotation once more for Vici. And now Snake, they're looking for everything outside of a jungler. So, don't necessarily have to pick a support right now.
Yeah, but they understand it comes down to what they believe is the best blind pick at the moment. At this point, yeah, they know what the support pick is, and they're just going to be fine going into Lulu. It's not really an outright, you know, counter pick. They're just kind of holding picks as much as possible to see what they can get on the last pick. So
it's interesting. There's a lot still open in the support pool as well.
I think the Caitlyn pick is something that should come out for Snake.
Yeah.
OQ is a fantastic Caitlyn player, but it looks like they're actually going to go towards the Ezreal.
Yep, Ezreal picked up there for OQ. Alright, so they just lock in the bottom lane. Vici, final pick on first drafting phase. Do you want to look towards... Probably not the solo laners right now.
It's best to go to the AD carries.
Yeah.
So for, like, I would have probably done Jhin, but Caitlyn makes a lot of sense because, of course, you're Endless loves a champion. But the fact that they're not going towards it is a big question mark, because that can just get pinched through if you're Snake.
I spoke about it before. I mean, Rumble, easy mode, and starting those fights over monster objectives. So prioritize from Vici. More than likely going to go too long in that top lane, but probably going to start hitting that ADC pool now from Snake.
Yeah, and this is actually, like, already from the first rotation from Vici, this is everything that you would want from them. Frost already mentioned it. The Rumble in the top lane on Long, that's a great pick for him, and usually just wins out lane, even though it's a blind pick. We'll have to see what Flandre wants to pick up against him. He has a plethora of champions that he goes towards. Meanwhile, he got Graves versus Rengar. And Graves is just like, will have that early game advantage. We saw it in the last set. So that's something that Bengi should be happy about. He's going to be able to just take advantages off of.
Orianna banned at Zatai and Kennen from Vici towards Snake. And it wasn't an ADC ban, it was in fact a Vladimir towards Easy Hoon. It definitely seems like a pick that Easy Hoon could bring, as pretty much every mid laner following Doinby has realized that Vladimir kind of good right now.
Yeah, an incredible mid laner, and we're starting to see a lot more of him. So the Caitlyn get banned, that just means that if you look into Vici, they're probably just going to look towards going for a Jhin, and that's about it. Just at the very least, they have that option, and Endless is not a bad Jhin player by any means. It's interesting that they're going to hold his pick. He might just kind of be, if this is a point where he is holding his AD carry and he understands what team he's going up against, he might go towards a cheeky Twitch or whatever he feels like. Remember, this is an Ezreal and Lulu lane. That's actually very easy to go up against it. I think that, even though, just a bit of a point, NALCS happened today. Doublelift came on. That was fun. That was fantastic. Everyone just, you know, a round of applause for the man. Went up against an Ezreal pick because he last picked his AD carry and he went Draven. So I'm not necessarily saying Endless would go towards it, but that's just a point of comfort where you can say, I know exactly what I'm going up against again. And I can go towards a non-meta AD carry.
It's rare as well to see a last pick of ADC, but it definitely does open up that possibility. Gragas locked in for Snake.
That has to be a thing.
And Yeah, Syndra.
Yeah.
So don't really want to get in range of those two picks.
Yeah,
so
if he
let me
doesn't-
just lock this in and click R.
If he goes Sivir, that'd be just as fine. Sivir or Jhin, either one, I won't be mad at him. If he goes anything else, that's where the problem comes in, because Flandre on that Gragas will constantly be looking to flank, and at the same time, Syndra will be doing the same. I mean, Ashe is okay as well, just won't be able to do much other than using his ulti, and if the team fight doesn't work out well, if you can't get a pick that works for him, and remember Lulu is a big problem for Ashe as the game goes on, then it becomes a bit of an issue.
Yeah. If she steps forwards and someone isn't already dead, then Ashe is dead.
Yeah.
So good luck. But Vici do have a lot of engage now, a lot of engage, and ways of being creative. So I mean, I think that's been the problem so far with Vici, the fact that they can't really close games because they don't know when or where or how to fight. But now that they have all of these tools, surely they should be able to make something happen against Snake if they do get that early game advantage.
Yeah, and I like what I see from Vici, mostly because this is now onus is on Hitong to be able to move around. Ashe and Karma are just fantastic in being able to shove out, and what that means is that if you can get control of your bot side river, that's so good for you. And sure, that allows Ashe to get a closer look in the mid lane to be able to get an ulti off, but also that means that Hitong can actually look to roam with his jungler, and which you want to see out of this team. You want to be able to say that, you know, Hitong and Bengi have a great synergy in terms of like setting up vision, and if that works out, that'd be great. That'd be a great change for Vici.
Hitong and Bengi. Well, we know Bengi's going to have a strong early game. I mean, that's pretty much just been consistent throughout all of Vici's games, regardless of how it goes. But converting that into the mid game and actually finishing a game is what they need to be looking out for. Whereas on the opposite side, Snake actually seem like it's all coming together, and I say that tentatively because we've said it many times through this bit so far. We were looking towards Snake of being a top contender, but then we went through a couple of weeks of them trying to rediscover themselves, training in the mountains of Tibet and saying, all right, what do we do? How do we refocus and find our drive once more? And it seems like they've located it.
Yeah, we'll have to see with at the very least game one with how this team does, and I love to see what growth Snake comes through, because they've evolved quite a lot. And that, sure, that's a pun based on the fact that they're a Snake, but it happens so often. They go through a lot of roster changes, and even though Flandre is the one that remains the same on the top side of the map, because he's a goddamn good player. And sure, SOFM is showcasing the same, but if they go through the change, these evolutions will turn out very well for them. At some point, if you go through a lot of changes, something will stick.
Well, we're into game one of Snake and Vici, and we're starting it off with an invade and a flash from Zatai. Vici already starting this off with an advantage. Yeah,
Zatai definitely heard my inspirational speech and just wasn't tuning into the game. And the man now has to go into the lane. It's not that bad for him, but going flashless up against the Graves early on in the game is going to be a problem. Graves' red buff will always just decide to look over to the mid lane and just walk over.
Not optimal. Let's see, he's gone back to base. He's got all his health back. And it's going to be equalized starts of the game for both teams. You asked for smart pings, and most of them are on Snake.
Unfortunate. This is when you get a stat for pings per minute. If SOFM,
I feel like we need it.
Yeah. If Snakes get the larger or the like more pings per minute, then of course I'll favor them.
We're probably the only region where that's like most applicable.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. You know, EU's got a few Koreans on their side.
True.
So that's something to watch out. I'm sure that they are very diligent in terms of teaching their like the imports, the language that will be used in the game. So that's probably not so much of a problem.
Yeah, they generally do get on the same page relatively quickly. One of the best examples, I guess, is Huni, who just became fluent over like 2 years. So he made it work for them. And yeah, we're into this bot lane, OQ and Crystal. We're expecting maybe to see something maybe funky out from Endless, but it's going to be an Ashe in the end.
This is a bit of a problem for Snake. SOFM right now started towards the top side of the map, needs to go towards his bottom side, but Graves has already started his Raptors.
Oh, Zatai rooted up. It's a flash out along with the cleanse, or rather just the cleanse. He had to get away there, and Bengi almost took him out. It was a flash from Bengi.
Yeah, but that was a big win for Bengi, not only because, yeah, sure, he pressured out that lane quite a bit, was able to get the cleanse off of it. That's nice. But then now what this means is that he can actually just start to pressure towards the bottom side very easily. the Rengar has to be able to get his Raptors. He's on it now, so that's fair. He's not getting challenged, but if he did get challenged, he would have a bad time. And so that's a bit of a miss for Bengi to not challenge the man's Raptors. He probably maybe expected Rengar to start at that point, but you know you just got a gank in your mid lane. Syndra is not in a good position. That is all the opportunity to be able to go straight into this man's Raptor camp and just at least ward it out.
Yeah, get that invade off. Bot lane, still just kind of going at it. Slight advantage to Endless, but there's a minion wave crashing in, so it's just equal footing for these ADCs at the moment. Top lane though, Flandre up against Long, Rumble and Gragas. Looking towards SOFM as well, as he may be looking towards the top lane as Long is very overextended. And Snake have the advantage, and I think pretty much just agreeing with us on the desk as well.
Yeah, and so here's the biggest thing about this. No one really goes towards Krugs this early. The fact that SOFM got it, now he gets a nice look onto Rumble here.
Long is committed. He has to just go in onto Flandre, but Flandre's job is just run away.
Wait a minute.
This 1v1 against Long and SOFM. He'll flash away, turn it around. A flash comes out, W down, and the first blood to SOFM. Bengi's on his way top lane, but he has no flash. Otherwise, it may have been a return kill. But Flandre's got the body slam. He's good to go.
There we go. But Rengar, I mean, Rengar gets a lot out of that. He gets the Krugs that gives him a lot of experience. Graves didn't go.
This is a lot of damage, actually. Scatter the Weak just in time to keep him off him. And Easy Hoon, that was almost a kill.
Yeah, just almost. And he's going to be able to get this big wave, which is great for Easy Hoon because now he's going to be able, after this, goes back, gets the tier that he wants, and he's ahead in the lane. What more could a Ryze ask for? A lot of Ryzes, you know, they struggle to get back to base because they're just getting hit up on, having a tough time in the lane. This time around, Easy Hoon's like, hey, you know what? I'm winning. Maybe I'm going to stay longer. Nah, Syndra's already back at base. There's no reason for him to do that.
But instead, we have the tier and the boots back from Ryze, so he's in good shape.
Oh.
OQ just,
having a bad time.
In a flame after, one after another. And a big soul flare will send him back to tower. Yeah, it's not fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Karma Ash is like, if you step out of those minions, there's a volley, there's all of the skill shots. It's frustrating to play against. And you can see CS is opening up there. A flash, a Rune Prison. Bengi, he's going to be stunned up.
Really
but to keep on chasing after, he needs to not go near a wall. He had one job, but Bengi will punish him. End of the line. And Zatai falls.
And what's great about that was Hatong was also in the area. So even that's a point that I really want to hit forward because Endless has a free push here. Bengi is going to be able to take control of this matchup, bring in your support like he is right now, and he's going to have a good time.
There's a slight invade as well from Bengi, but SOFM finishes off this camp. Hitong is not going to be interrupted on his way out. SOFM going to jump on Easy Hoon though.
Yeah, he's got a free out.
Yeah, he missed the initial bowler, so it's absolutely fine. Yeah, wow, he actually just laughed at him.
Wow.
Oh, this guy.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is why SOFM has a bit of a lead. Sure, he got the gank on the top side, but he's just zero-inning on this guy's Krugs. He's just kept, he keeps going back. And Graves is never taking his Krug camp. Oh, no, Long. Okay, we're fine.
It's a level 6 Rumble against a level 5 SOFM currently. Still going for these Krugs.
This is really good. Graves is behind. This is the first time I've actually had to say that Graves is behind, but here we go.
Along with the ultimate, laying down to Flandre, but he drops the own ultimate. Explosive cast, gonna kill once again to SOFM. And Zatai even came up to the top lane. Snake had just constant rotations.
Welcome back, SOFM. He's level 6. 2 kills to his name. Much higher in terms of experience, obviously, because I just said he was level 6 and Bengi is level 5. And it comes to the point where he's just constantly challenging Graves' Krugs. And the reason why he's doing that, he doesn't want to take his own Krugs. If he takes his own Krugs, he does nothing. Maybe he's in vicinity of his own bottom lane, but why would he want to be near his bottom lane? But yeah, he's able to constantly look to invade. He knows that Graves is never going to touch his own Krugs. He's not going to go to the enemy Krugs. So he's able to just get a bigger and bigger XP advantage because he's just focusing solely on these jungle camps.
I mean, he's a selfish player, and we know that. And the fact that he has 2 kills right now, he'll look to increase his advantage and just try and use that to leverage that as a way to win this game. But when SOFM is performing, he just absolutely goes off, and he's looking for another gank once more into this top lane onto Long. Got to level 6. It's the bottom lane we're looking towards. It's so difficult to just farm.
Yeah.
OQ just wants some minions.
Oh no, this is going to be a problem. This is when you start to count the down to 10. Oh, he's not going to have that much time.
He's going to jump out of the bush. He's right on top of Long. He's looking for more leaps. And Long, he silenced himself. It might be a kill in return. And it will eventually be a 1-for-1.
What was that? He actually did so... He invested so much to give the kill away to Flandre. He could have just killed the man. He literally could have saved his own life to get that one kill. But you know what? Now he's dead.
And he's like, well, this is why I always take the kill. Because you see, the one time I try and donate it, this happens.
Lesson to all the junglers out there. Just take the kill.
Just kill them.
Just take the kill.
Crystal, he's called out end of the line, but flash out of the arrow as well coming in from Endless. And Bengi's still applying pressure.
What the? All right, they want this dive.
Yeah,
Crystal and OQ.
They want the tower.
Oh.
Drop him low enough. Wallbang. Not going to get it, but minions there. And the first tower of the game to Vici. SOFM is on his way bot lane, but he's been sighted by that ward. Instead, he goes to the Krogs.
Yeah, and it seems like Vici, they could have went in for that dive entirely. They even had Rise in the area with ulti. But they decided against it. They said, you know what, we're just going to take this tower. We're going to be a safe team. We're not going to go for any skirmishes. That said...
That's a Flandre. Explosive cask onto Long, but Satai's in the top lane. Misses Force of Will. Should be enough damage. Last auto, not going to be quite enough. Lays down the equalizer, and that's enough to kill him. Long is like, this is a great day. People come up here and keep giving me gold.
Oh my god, what is this? That is a tilting moment for Zatai. This is when he doesn't get benched by the coach. He benches himself. He's like, I need a time to think. Bring Tank on here. Oh, no. Well, that's a bit of an unfortunate moment, but that was a great roam. I think overall, Flandre needs to cool his jets. Needs to calm down and let the man come to the top lane first. So that could have been a very easy kill. Hell, you know what? Even just have Gragas tank a few hits so, you know, you can get the kill. But overall, hindsight is fantastic if they had it.
2020. SOFM and Crystal being very quiet.
Ooh, this is what I talked
about. This one bush.
Yeah. Jungle support synergy. This is when Lulu allows SOFM to just get in there. Oh, this is when we go countdown. This is a rocket ship right here. I'm ready to go on this rocket ship.
Surely someone must come through this
No, they're setting up for this top play right now. I'm telling you right now, this rocket ship's
about
to
back
blast.
to the other bush.
Okay. Reset that rocket ship. Okay, here we go. 5.
Someone's got to go through the tri-bush.
3,
Let's set up this
2.
one.
This is the worst rocket ship I've ever seen.
Blast off! Here we go. Let's go SOFM. Instant ultimate from Endless, predicting where it'd be coming in for. And there's no ultimate just yet from Flandre. Couple seconds left until that happens. Easy Hoon. He's huffing it over to the top lane, but he is stopped in his tracks by Zatai.
Well, that rocket ship didn't go anywhere. No. But they definitely got Ashe
failed launch
to the face. Oh, wrong.
Let's call NASA. Long is coming onto the bot lane. Double harpoons onto OQ. And he's out.
Yeah, this is a hard game for OQ. Has the tier, has the phage, probably has a bit of gold so he can buy that Sheen. But at the moment in time, he's just crying. That's all you can do. There has been so much pressure into the bot side of the map to really just force him away from CS. So that's 20 CS difference between Endless and OQ. Not because of the 1v1. Don't want people to be, you know, doing the Endless greater than OQ. OQ just had a tough time, all right?
He had a rough day. Don't hold it against him. We've got plenty more League of Legends in this series for him to redeem himself, but Vici are definitely trying to keep him down with Long coming up there. We're down there.
Oh, here we go.
Easy Hoon. Lays down the equalizer. Got the stun and the root onto Zatai. Turns around. It's not even close to enough damage. Flandre TP'd in, but I mean, good luck killing Easy Hoon. Yep. SOFM was there as well, but there was nothing to allow him to jump on towards them.
This is the team play that we've all been looking for when it comes to Vici. Not only is the team play there where Easy Hoon is working in tandem with Long, but Long is just going off. Sure, he has a few deaths to his name. But finally, he's able to get it going here. Oh!
A flash, and SOFM is going deep onto Bengi, but this time he's taking someone with him when he goes on that blast cone. By himself, he'll jump once more onto Hetong. I'm not even sure if that was a good decision. SOFM can't even see outside of the smoke screen. And Bengi says, get out of my jungle and let's take the kill.
Yeah, ordinarily you would at least want one member to help you out in your adventure over there. It didn't even bring the Lulu. Crystal was just kind of awkwardly in the river saying, you know what? I could have helped you out, but now you're dead. So that was, yeah, that was just very unfortunate coming over from Snake.
the end. Another kill to Vici. They're definitely turning up the heat in the early game. 2,000 gold advantage plus that one tower. Bengi may be punished. Flandre is sitting in the bush. He's stalking his prey. But Bengi is a bit more limber, a bit more nimble than poor old Flandre. So he'll go back into the top lane.
Oh,
no!
This
He's
is
waiting.
a 2-tier trap.
He's lying in wait.
Vici's waiting for
a trap on a trap on a trap.
Yep. They're waiting. The double trap is coming in.
Now Crystal as well. Be very quiet. Bengi, he jumps in. This is go time for Flandre, but he didn't land the E and he pops the ult bit, and Bengi rides the wave. He slingshots back to the tower.
You know what? The wave was... This is when the system is out to get you. This is when the man has brought in the wave to, you know, come in at the right time to block
every 30
the dragons.
seconds.
Yeah.
Almost like
perfect timing from the wave.
Regular intervals.
This is the government stopping the man from doing
Illuminati.
Yeah. But yeah, that would have been great from Flandre, and honestly, that just comes down to the fact that he didn't get the initial, as Frosco likes to call it, the belly bop. So the body slam comes in, but of course he didn't get the stun, and so the ulti was just really awkwardly timed. So overall, I love the setup for the trap, just didn't work out.
Simple as that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Looking at that mid lane, as high as now 0-3. He's not had the best of games. A little bit tilted, but Easy Hoon, he's having a good one. 1-0-1. And doing as well as you can do on Rise, honestly. Perfect farm, and has that Rod of Ages.
And he's been doing quite well, even though we see him with the 1-0-1, and everybody's kind of evened out in terms of how strong they're, honestly. A lot of gold being shared around. But oh, wait a minute.
Oh, SOFM looking for another kill onto Long, but I mean, he keeps picking on him, but Long's getting to the point where he can start 1v2ing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we're just gonna back away.
Yeah, back to the earlier point before the nonsense is happening here. What was that? Oh yeah, Rise. He's actually been pivoting quite a bit, even though he hasn't, like, the goal's not really showcasing that, obviously. There'll be times where he's positioning to help out a potential fight, and sure, Vici is just not going for the fight, which is very awkward when you have an Ashe composition. They're just having Ashe just constantly push. That's just something that's the Vici special. It doesn't matter who their AD carry is, if it's Endless or P. They don't look for the plays surrounding their AD carry. They just constantly look for them to be a shoving nature. So it's working out for them, but they definitely could be doing a lot more. That's a strong position coming from Easy Hoon, and honestly, Bengi's been just performing incredibly well so far. It just comes down to the fact that, yeah, they're just choosing to play it slowly.
And the wealth has been shared in this game from Vici. Not just Bengi is doing well, but Long is doing well, and you have to feel like maybe a little bit of that was from the fact that SOFM was so dead set on trying to murder him. And that has actually, in the end, just gifted multiple kills to Long in the top lane.
Yeah.
And Flandre, he's 1-0-2, but he could be further ahead. And SOFM, well, he had a snowbally start. He's only just died since then. Vici, they're onto this dragon, and it will be an easy take for them. There's no contest whatsoever from Snake, and it definitely shouldn't be. And the next dragon will be Cloud. We're seeing many streaks today of whatever the first dragon is, and it seems to be 3 of those in a row. Yeah,
this is when these teams start to test each other in terms of just how they play around towers. Towers are going to be the major objectives here, and dragons are not going to be doing too much. Ripturl never does the any good. Meanwhile, Flandre.
Let's just run down Flandre. Your tower's the other way, mate. That's not the way you want to go. Vici will find that kill, but it will be exchanged in the top side.
So Vici right now, they think they're in a great position, and honestly they are. This is a big wave here. Good, big enough. Big wave,
gone.
I say. But they're going to try and go for this tower. They have a wave coming up. They're just going to try and burrow it down. And Snake recognized what's about to happen because Vici's way farther ahead of them. Cheese it. All right.
We're good.
Yeah, Vici's way farther ahead of them, so if Snake continued that pushing game on the top side of the map, then, you know, Vici would have just simply won out because they're starting from tier 2 to tier 1. So, I mean, Vici would have much rather they had a larger wave, obviously. That's something they're looking for.
SOFM has got throw of the hunt, and he's been whimsied, but there is no straggler by themselves. Oh, actually, yes, there is. Endless is by himself, but Orca timing, but that's it, we're off. Yep.
Stopped his back timing, worth.
Got it. Useful. Well, I think we'll push down the bottom side now, and the fact that he did stop that recall may mean that at the very least OQ will get some quality time with his minions. And the best case scenario is he picks up the tower. So going towards the mid lane, as EasyHoon is still pounding that mid lane tower, and Zatai.
And so this is really good for Snake. And as I say that, Snake's having a real bad time.
Round warping over. That was a really nice ult from Flandre, but may not save his life. Has to flash to keep himself healthy and in the top lane. So Vici constantly gaining advantages in this game.
So this gives Snake some time to maybe look to siege mid, but it looks like they're just going to try and set up a trap. The trap special coming in from Snake. Not much is going to come out of this, so I'm not even going to give it any time and place. Overall, I just love the fact that OQ has just been able to farm up. He got zoned out so often in the early point of the game. He's still 20 CS behind. It's not meaning too much right now because he has his Triforce. He's going towards... It's going to be a little bit longer on the Muramana because he's still sticking to that tier, and it's much harder to really build up in just a tier form. You don't get... build up just off or stacking it just based on auto attacks. So that's a bit of unfortunate for him. He might get it maybe 25. I would say 25, maybe 28 minutes. It's not too bad. With that being said, if your Ez gets online, and that's going to be really difficult for Vici. Vici right now, they're going to have a little bit of problem dealing with the poke coming up over here. Ashe is great in terms of dealing with your team when the picks come through. But yeah, definitely going to get popped on if Oki ever finds her alone.
But at the very least, Vici do have the tools in this game to accentuate their lead because they just need to click their buttons and then suddenly they're in a fight.
Yeah.
So at the very least, Vici should be able to get into those fights. It's just a matter of execution from there on out. And so Fermi's got the ultimate. Bengi will flash over the wall. He burns that from him. And yeah, Zatai will push out this mid wave. There's no dragon for a fair bit. And no one's going to go for Baron at this stage in the game. So it's just a flash. It's an ultimate for a flash.
Yeah, and ease of execution really is in favor in terms of Snake. You got Zatai's snare or stun. Same goes with SOFM if he has his ulti. And you look towards Flandre, and if he ever gets a flank, that's great as well. Like, they have a lot of ways of starting fights if and when they want to be able to do that. And you look towards Vici, and this is a little bit of a gambit for them. Because if these endless ultis doesn't, like these enchanted crystal arrows, as the game goes on, it's much harder to follow up on them. They have a fairly mid-range comp with EasyHoon. Sure, Long can send out his ulti, but you're going to be looking towards Snake building up a redemption item, which just makes it much harder to really play around your Rumble engages. So it's going to be interesting to see who else follows up with Endless's ult. Because once he gets an ult, then you're going to be looking towards EasyHoon, and he's never going to be able to walk in on his own. It's going to be based off Bengi and Wong. And if that works off, if that's enough, then that's fine, but it's never going to be enough. That's not enough follow-up.
Flandre's picked up a banner of command. So he saw the game earlier today and was like, well, Rumble absolutely couldn't deal with it. And even though Gimgum was ridiculously fed, he couldn't deal with it. So Flandre will pick up the banner of command second this time, and he's placed it in bottom lane.
Ah, yes. This is great for Nautilus, and it's great for Gragas. You got those AP tanks up top, and you recognize, you know what, sure, I picked Gragas into Rumble because I recognize, A, I've got teamfight potential, a lot of disruption in my kit, and B, you can just build these ridiculous items that just makes Rumble's times a lot harder. Because you'd want Rumble to have that push priority, and what kind of push priority are you going to have when you can't even take a minion down?
That's a good point. The wave is now crashing against Long, and I think unfortunately we have to say goodbye to that minion. Well, there'll be another one in just over 60 seconds.
They come and they go.
They come.
They do.
They do. They absolutely did. There's 15 seconds left in the next dragon here, Raz. So both teams are trying to set up around it.
He dodged it, but
wow.
he's not. No.
You can't dodge those two.
Yeah, not going to turn it into any damage.
Definitely not a dodgeball champion. Well, Snake will push down the mid lane, and it seems like Vici have control over the area. Long's going to get jumped on by Flandre. It's a bit of a tickle, I think, more than anything else. And Bengi will start the dragon.
This is when you start to roll the dice. They've had a lot of control early on in this game. You're just hoping that the next dragon comes to favor you. Let's roll the dice! Ah, there
Critical
we go.
fail. That was a 1 on the D20. That was, nope, not good for Snake.
Oh, yeah, for Snake, sure. I mean, for Vici, that's what I'm talking about.
That was a natural 20, mate. That was great.
Yeah, they're fine. They rolled that dice and said, thank the Lord. I mean, three Cloud Dragons ain't that bad, but we'd rather be able to fight with this.
That'd be nice. I mean, the clouds have parted, and we see a ray of sun in the form of Infernal Dragon.
Yeah.
And also Bengi looking like he's gonna die. Crystal getting blown up. Look at the damage. He's just in place. He drops where he stands. And so a fan from the sidelines. Goodbye, her tongue. He's now locked up by Easyhoon. He's mad. He's angry. Oh, no, he's running away. So that was a 1-for-1 trade. Both the supports bit the dust. And Long, he's fighting Flandre, but he's a slippery fat man. And he'll get back into the bottom lane.
And just, I guess this is a trade overall. Crystal took the brunt of it. Hetong took the brunt of it. It was a great answer for SOFM to come in for a flank and be able to take that kill. Now, Long, you gotta deal with this minion. Let's just,
Deal with my pet. Have at it. Well, we've got the tower there. So
yeah.
Just needs the last hit in. Endless has 2 items now. He's currently sat on his Rune and Hurricane. So he's not in the worst of position. We're looking towards his third item power spike. And bit of a back and forth trade, bit of a tussle in the jungle. But in the end, it did really not culminate into anything else. And SOFM is having a grand old time in this game.
Yeah, just laughing it off. And honestly, he should stop laughing at this point. As the game goes on, it's going to be harder for him to do his job. It's going to be harder for Flandre. I mean, yeah, sure, they're beef and tanks, or at least Flandre will be. But the problem is, of course, he's never going to be able to come in melee range when he gets shut down. As I say that.
Flash from Crystal.
There we go. But yeah, a lot of the onus is going to be over on Zatai and OQ. OQ is starting to farm himself up. He's farming up slowly. He's not getting a lot of items for himself. But once he does, he should be doing a lot of damage. So this is where the problem lies, where they're really just waiting on OQ to be able to be the damage dealer that they want him to be.
OQ walks up, locked down in Rune Prison, and he'll go back. Ultimate by SOFM, but no one is split currently. And with the tongue speeding everybody up with Defiance, SOFM does not find a target.
Yeah, that was pretty ambitious. They're never setting up these flanks, and the reason why they aren't is because this mid lane outer turret is still up and available. It's going to be hard to be able to do that, especially with this vision going to be very easy to place for a team. Giving OQ red buff, I mean, that's going to be DM if he doesn't get it anyway, so that's fair. I'm just saying that it's his time to shine and showcase at least some strength in terms of, I mean, the 2 main carries that Snake are looking towards. Not really doing too well so far. 0-3 on Snake. And Ezreal's just not looking, he's not getting anything done.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Vici are absolutely fine playing Farmville. Though personally I did come here for League of Legends. So maybe we'll see a fight over Infernal Dragon.
I mean, Farmville is fine up until a certain point. I mean, you can play it a day or two, maybe a week, and then you're done. That's it.
Not for some people.
Ah, yeah, there's some people making life out of that.
Yep. You get addicted to harvesting those crops. And Vici, they don't need to do anything else other than chill out and farm these side waves.
Yeah. I mean, I was never a Farmville type. I was that restaurant game on Facebook.
That was great until it got cancelled.
Yeah, oh,
they brought it down, yeah. Sad times.
I just stopped playing it after a week. I'm just very bad at keeping attentive to one game at one time.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But Vici, they are committed. They were probably all top tier Farmville players.
I think both of these teams were.
I don't think so. I don't think SOFM was.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. He's been trying to at least get a skirmish in at least once every 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah. He probably played Mafia Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was definitely an SOFM game.
See, what I did was I registered to it, logged on, 5 minutes, and I was done. So that's just
yeah,
commitment. Yeah.
SOFM just constantly wants to go in, but people group up from Vici. Unfortunately, they're just a little too smart for the kitty cat.
Yeah. A lot of Spirit Visage is coming through him. SOFM has a Spirit Visage, same with Flandre, and they're just recognizing a lot of magic damage coming out of Rise and Long. Problem is, of course, is that Graves does a lot of damage himself. Here we go. That's the TP coming in as well.
I hear the growl of the cat. Whoop.
Escape!
Easyhoon, get out of here. He's good to go.
And see, that's the real difficulty for Snake looking to force these fights. That was a great, I mean, as good as a TP as you're going to get at Flandre, but this outer turret is still up and available. Take that down and these flanks will work for you. But for now, Vici are just going to clutter under this tower. There's no reason for them to be, I guess, scared. Every time you hear the burping coming out of, I guess, out of
Rengar.
Rengar, every time his ulti comes through. Yeah, you know, just hide under the bunker. That's it. So Snake have to look towards this tower as priority. 27 minutes into the game, and it looks like Ezreal's already got his Muramana. So that's great for him, and now he's going to be going towards his black Blade of the Rune King. But I guess yeah, that's as good as they can get out of that one.
Do you think,
Yep.
Raz, that Snake will challenge Vici over the dragon, or they will try and just trade it for mid lane?
Ooh, I think they will, but maybe that might not even happen. Okay.
That trade sucked.
Yeah, it sucked a lot. Oh, this could be a great point for them if they can get this. This is not going to happen. But yeah, dragon coming up in 1 second.
Whoa!
They're definitely going to be looking to fight
That
over
definitely
it.
gave me a heart attack.
Oh,
SFM. Is he actually...
wait a minute.
I was going to say, is he just going to walk back into the brush for every attack on that one? I mean, it's fun, but it's not effective. Snake actually go on to the dragon.
There you go.
And they take it. Long decides to stay in the top lane. And it's actually Vici who looked for the push in mid lane.
That's interesting. I mean, Rumble won't be able to take
Whoop.
this. Oh, actually, didn't clear it out completely. They're going to be able to go for it. Okay. So that's a bit of a trade. I mean, that's an obvious point, but is it worthwhile? They have to be able to take this fight, and Snake won it. They want it badly.
I mean, we're sort of fighting in mid lane. Nice sidestep from Easyhu, and by sidestep I mean he stood still, and Flandre thought he was going to move.
Definitely cosplaying the Gragas. He's fairly drunk at the moment.
Yeah. Just, yeah, we're seeing double.
He got him.
Before that tower looked like Rise. It was like, I got him.
And his team was like, no, you got nobody. Yep. No, I got it.
Would it be great if you played Gragas and you just saw double? Sometimes you just like keel over.
I just want a passive to be a negative passive, right? I just want a passive to be saying you are the strongest champion, but you will not be able to see things properly. That'd be hilarious.
Changes the Lee Sin in 7.6.
Oh no.
You are actually blind. However, we've increased all of your ratios by 10.
If you can auto attack a champion, you kill them instantly, but you have to see them first.
That would be a hilarious change.
Yeah. Get away from the Lee Sin.
Get inside the Baron Pit, place down a ward. There we go. Vici playing it slow, playing it methodically. And we're going back to a very old type of Vici. I think we overused the line, death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, but they're trying to engage and he'll get blasted away. Counter engage by Flandre.
That was the worst Ashe ult, but looks like...
I mean, it was sort of an ult from Long, but he's going to lead the charge onto Satai and Flandre. And another body slam, but he's being chased down. He'll flash over the wall while SOFM is running for dear life. Easyhoon, he's running after him. And everyone scatters in the end.
Ashe has got him locked in. Chase that man.
Target located. Get him, Hatong. He's walking the Gragas. He's giving him a good slap. But now Flandre is with the rest of his team, and it's happy hour. So we're getting all our health back.
Oh, there we go. So that turned into nothing. A fat zero.
Diddly squat.
Nothing came out of it. Snake tried to go for that.
Nada.
But it didn't work out. And I mean, the longer this game goes on, OQ is going to get a chance to really show Q. I always look towards OQ. I mean, he's done absolutely nothing this game, but the fact that he's got himself that Cutlass going into Blade of the Rune King, that's when Snake is actually going to be confident going towards a fight. I mean, they got the Infernal Dragon. All right, so they're probably all ready to fight regardless, but he's going to be impactful. That's the word of the day, impactful. Look at you, OQ. What are you going to do for this team right now?
0-0-1. You're farming. You're getting to the point where you can start being useful. And he probably does damage because he's on 2 items. He has the Muramana.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been able to hit anyone really. And we've gotten into many fights. It's been a lot of picks and a lot of farming.
That's going to be a big major highlight between the 280 carries here, where Endless has had a major spike for how long? Wasn't able to get the Ashe ulti off, but they're just not setting up for it rightly. It should be Vici looking for these fights, but it's Snake constantly catching out Vici and pushing him in. And so this is the major frustration that we've had for Vici. And that's
swing and a miss.
Yeah. So
SFM, you've been chased down, but he will he'll swim his way to victory.
So
he's got a solid breaststroke.
The one engage that we have from Vici is based on Endless getting an ulti.
Yeah, we'll see you in a minute and a half. Still looking to chase them down. Easyhoon runs out of his own ultimate, but he's taking Bengi with him. Hello! OQ wants to try and get away from this, but he's locked down in the Rune Prison. Hatong being chased after, and it's now Flandre in the middle of multiple members of Vici. Meanwhile, Bengi launched on from S2FM, but he sees nothing. He's in the smoke screen, and Vici get the 1 kill.
That was a fairly creative fight from Vici Gaming. To be able to get that flank within the jungle, it was very, very risky because for them to do that means that they are incredibly spread out. And any one of those members could have just been blasted by the Gragas coming through. But it worked out for them. They were able to get the major tank line. What this does mean is that they can set up towards the Baron. Dragon's coming up in a minute and a half. So remember, these objectives coming through is fantastic for Vici. And the fact that they're winning these fights works out for them, but they need to be able to get the abilities. And so a lot of pressure is on Endless to start hitting those Ashe ultis. They're a fairly low cooldown, especially since he has a lot of crit and the Essence Reaver. The CDR is fairly high. So he's going to be getting these Enchanted Crystal arrows off a lot, which means that he should probably start to hit one.
One can hope, one can dream that he will hit one. And you fire enough arrows,
you're going to do it.
Eventually something's going to hit.
Someone's going to get hit by
sheer probability.
At the very least, one of these ultis have to hit.
Exactly. And then at that point, Vici should be able to win a fight, but we haven't seen him get into a full-scale warfare. And to that point, Vici, we still haven't answered the question of can they close a game, because they still have that advantage. But it's still a long way off, because they're coming off a loss against OMG of all teams.
Yeah.
S2FM has stopped doing a lot of damage, and he has started to go tank.
And that's the thing, as you just mentioned, right? They need to be able to get these fights. And losing up against OMG for the very reason of just these team fights, this means that Vici has to go.
Whoa, round warping in. It's only easy, but he's in the middle of the team. He's got a big shield on top of him into the Zhonya's Hourglass, and Zatai will bite it. That's another kill to Vici.
Oh, thank God he built Hourglass. He got blown apart, but he was able to keep intact. You know, the Zhonyas did help a lot, so now Zatai is down, Baron is up, Dragon is going, is already up now. So Vici being able to take up the jungle camps, this is a great point for them because now they can really start up. But OQ, the cheeky bastard!
He's getting it by himself. There's his contribution to the team, Raz.
We got it!
We got Inferno Dragon.
He's got Blade, actually he's got Blade of the Rune King too, so this is when he starts to pop out. This is, if you're looking for the OQ show, it's now or never. Actually, he has all the time. He only scales upwardly from this point, so that's a false statement. Vici's going for it now.
There's a bot wave down. Zatai is also in base for such a long time. S2FM, it's your time to shine, buddy. But he has been revealed over the wall. Vici, they have the lockdown on S2FM and have stopped hitting the Baron. But he gets the steal anyway. Vici lose the Baron. The Ashe Arrow misses again, and Vici just have to go back to base. Oh, it's happening, Raz. It's happening again.
What a man this guy is. SOFM had no reason to do that. No place, no right. But he still gets over it. And the guy doesn't even execute at all. It's Graves who has to execute damage. SOFM comes out ahead on that one. Gets the Baron. And now that just means extra time over to Snake. They're scaling, man. They're going up.
You have 2 Infernals.
Yeah.
This, man, if Snake win a game like this against Vici, like, nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. Vici are able to get advantages, but they cannot close at all.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what it comes down to. I'm going to fan you off right now. I'm just fanning you off to cool down.
You're fanning the flames, Raz.
Fanning the flames. Hopefully not. I'm sure the studio costs a lot. But yeah, this biggest point about this is that they made some improvements. They were scrapping a little bit with the Rumble pick, and then they just stopped. They stopped. Honestly, a lot of the blame comes over to Endless because he was throwing a lot of these ultis and they just weren't hitting. So, and they weren't setting him for it either. So that's another big point. But also, they just stopped because they were afraid of SOFM. He was going for a lot of engages when he had no reason, or at least no follow-up. He died a few times because of it, but I guess if you keep trying and keep going for it, you're going to get something at some point.
That is a big minion.
Yeah, that is a massive one.
That minion is bigger than most of the members from Snake. Flandre looks for the engage. It's onto her tongue. Flashes out of the way. SOFM's there, but simply doesn't have the damage just yet. Great health. It's all going to be healed up. That's a great ability right there. And these cannon minions are going to town. Someone just needs to protect them. Anybody.
Yeah.
Anyone at all. Nope. Okay.
There we go.
I guess not. And Snake won't stop clearing out waves to play the map game. He decides to go back because top was pushing. We're looking for the push with the Baron buff, but they decide better of it. And you have to feel maybe they should have pushed top or bottom. Or top or mid.
Yep, top or mid. So that was just a lot of wasted time coming out of Snake for that one. So now that they're actually at the right place, they still have a lot of Baron left for them, or at least to make one play happen. They clear out fairly quickly as well with Dragus on the top side, so it looks like their main focus is going to be on this mid lane tower, which does mean Long has to respect and pack away. He can't take this next wave. If he takes it, and he's doing it right now, this means that Snake have a lot of opportunities to... Oh, they're already doing it. Uh-oh.
Bengi didn't get the heal out. And Easy Hoon's waiting in the bush for Flandre, but he's simply not taking any damage anymore. Hatong had the flash for the last fight, but this time doesn't have it. We'll turn around. And that'll be pretty much the end of negotiations.
Yeah, so they didn't get a tower off of it. So that's at the very least, Vici don't completely fall apart on that one. And Graves comes out with his life intact. So it's going to be a pretty sad game for Bengi coming out of this one, 3-0-3. And it's his own, I mean, that's a point that Frost makes as well, is that it's your own problem. You're coming out of this game and you're just, this is a self-inflicted wound from Vici. This is when you have so many cuts. You're cutting them with too many knives. Suddenly, they're turning on you. You're cutting yourself with these knives. Or paper cuts, I suppose. You know what? I'm going to bring in knives anyways. Visually,
it's definitely safety scissors.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose so.
Definitely butter knives that Vici are utilizing right now.
Yeah.
They spent too long in the circus. It's like, these butter knives aren't working. So they tried at League of Legends, and it's still not working. It just makes me a sad man, Raz. Ah, look at the damage that Endless could do. If only he could hit an enemy champion.
Yeah, you know what? That'd be fantastic. To just auto-attack a
Wouldn't that be great?
He can't do it because, you know, he's not really setting it up. Even, like, the cleanse is down on Syndra. So they know the timing on cleanse. They're just not really setting up for it. And so this is a point where if Snake had this composition that Vici have, they would be going mad with it.
They would have pulled the trigger many times over.
Too many times.
And in fact, OQ's been just launching true shot barrages at people. And he's able to hit people.
Yeah.
So why isn't Endless able to hit an arrow?
That's
it's literally 5 arrows in a row that we've seen that have all missed.
That's a sad day.
6th time. I have faith.
Ooh, here we go. Vici are pressuring towards the bottom side, which is very awkward because Ezreal's on the top side. He either has to decide to all in on this tower or just back away. He should back away. Dragons are going to be coming up soon. That's Elder Dragon, so that's, you definitely don't want your Rengar and Ezreal at the top side of the map while Elder Dragon's going to be prepared for. Yep, they've realized this decision, and they're starting to head all over them. There we go. They shouldn't have any more pressure. Like, the fact that they're even clearing wards when they didn't have their AD carry or jungler is an unfortunate event. But Snake's getting away with it. Double! Oh, there we go. They got it.
As to a fan, the well-placed forward, actually. Ah, well.
He hit him. He did it. You can't say otherwise.
I mean, yes.
He hit him.
But he hit S2FN. So
but he hit him. You can't even.
I'm still calling that a miss.
Oh.
That's 6.
All right.
We're looking for number 7.
All right.
But it's almost a third off cooldown. So there's another one coming very shortly.
Zitai has a cleanse up too, so he was able to wait long enough for that one to come back up. So that's something to watch out for. You don't want to be able to hit the Rengar, and you don't want to look for the Syndra with cleanse. So. Oh, here we go. Let's remember.
We're going mid lane onto SFM. We're walking him down, but he's taking so much damage. He's refusing to die.
Oh.
Massive heal out and the disengage in from Flandre. Long is still following after, and it's maybe Flandre who's going to be dropping here. No, flash over the wall.
Wait a minute.
Easy Hoon caught out. He'll turn it around onto OQ, who lives up to his name and hit 0 Qs.
Ouch. He hit one, man. I saw it.
I didn't see it.
I saw that one Q. He went in at the very end, but then
Shut up, SOFM. Stop laughing.
But yeah, that was
no laughing matter.
That's not a laughing matter whatsoever. Snake got away with it. SOFM was out of position, but of course he is so tanky at this point. Even has a Randu insert himself, so he's going straight tank Rengar. Has a tank in the top side of map, of course, in Gragas, so their front line's looking fairly good. And they're putting all into OQ and Zatai. And you know what? For good reason. Endless took a lot of damage randomly. He didn't see the Syndra stun coming, and it only took that one bit of damage for him to lose about 58% HP. So that's a bit of a problem. He's going to have to turn into an old bot until he can actually walk into a fight safely.
Dragon has been started by Vici, but I think Snake are going to try and trade it for Baron, actually. Yeah, there's multiple members running over here. Flandre started it.
Ah, this is a chase.
Can they get there in time? The time is ticking.
Ezreal's not even there. This is too slow.
Can he make it through the mid lane? Here comes the Ash arrow. I swear to God. All right, it actually hits the tie, but this is already gone.
Oh,
see you later. Big Rumble ultimate slows down the tie. They are not in fighting shape, but they have to disengage. OQ just tossing out Qs left and right.
They have Rise ulti too.
Rise ultimate. He's going to close in on someone. The best they can look for is a kill somewhere onto someone. Zatai falls over. Crystal and OQ having to back off. Bengi's coming in there. It's so far 1 kill to Vici and objectives exchanged.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you favor the Baron, but unless the Crystal dies on this one, he should be fine.
He's gonna have to bucket. No, Hetong has his number.
And that's the thing about the Elder Dragon. It's an investment. You have to look to get these team fights going well for you. Right now, SFM's just gonna go straight to the mid lane. This time, he's not trolling. He's going for the tower.
But he doesn't do any damage. So Long is gonna clear out the wave. Oh, Flandre, he's nailed by the arrow. Endless.
What is that minion doing
He was saving them all for the end of the game. He's hitting these arrows now, but doesn't get the slowdown. Izahoon, he's a fast man on this rise. He has Hetong there as well. And Flandre is out of mana, though he has a lot of health. But these are 2 big damage dealers on top of him. Endless, he finally got to hit something. And he will finish off Gragas. 3 kills to Vici, and so far still have the advantage.
And usually you would favor Baron over Elder Dragon, but Elder Dragon is an investment if you can get the kills going for you. And they did just that. That's, I guess that's just 2 picks. But overall, that just means now question is whether or not Snake can look to utilize the Baron that they have to get a pressure going. Or if, you know, Vici actually can get a team fight going. The problem is, we're now expecting Vici with Elder Dragon to properly team fight. So they got the picks working for them now. Flandre is off the map if they can get another Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Since it is off cooldown, then that would be the ticket to their victory. I'm putting a lot of pressure on Endless, but it just feels like that it just has to happen. He is their only form of engage, unless if you're counting a beautiful Rumble.
Funny thing is, thematically, maybe the Baron would have been better for Vici. However, the fact that they managed to get those 3 picks, Flandre is down for the count. They are able to take middle inner tower. It's a question of can they even take one of these inhibitor towers, because Baron is still on the side of Snake.
Yep. And this is the hardest part for Vici, to be able to look to close out a game in terms of just, you need to all in, you need to look for a team fight. Can he? No,
through the goalposts.
Yep, there we go. But it's going to come up fairly soon.
It is. Here comes Flandre. Ultimate onto Bengi. He's knocked right into the middle of the team. Styrax keeps him alive. Big heal, big shield. Flandre will jump back into the base and gets clipped by the True Shot barrage. But thank God his team was standing there to reduce the damage. And Bengi's back to fighting health. SOFM. He's gonna go
He's doing
bot lane.
Yeah, something's happening. I guess he's looking at the massive wave starting to culminate in the bottom side, so he needs to look to even that out, or that's going to slow push into his side of the map. So that's fair. He had a few options to be able to push out mid or just do that, and that's the smarter decision. So, you know, congrats to SOFM on that one.
Big thumbs up. SOFM will continue pushing, actually.
Okay.
I mean, will force some backs from Vici.
Yeah, to be fair, no, there we go. Okay,
nope.
He had a few options to. If he can take one more, well, okay. If he takes one more wave, then to be fair, Vici can't get anything on the top side of the map, so that's like he will not get punished for that. But it's better for him to just reset quickly and see what else they can push out on the mid side on mid lane.
47 minutes here, Raz. And we are now waiting on probably monster objectives again, outside of Endless hitting an arrow. So I think the more likely scenario is that we wait for these objectives.
Yeah. I'm quite surprised that a lot of these picks, or at least attempted picks, from Snake coming onto Vici just aren't paying off. Bengi's getting caught out a little bit, but he hasn't died. Okay.
SOFM caught. It's a big arrow. It's a big stun. Room prison. And he's gonna go down. Eventually. Monkeys and typewriters. Eventually it's gonna happen, Raz. And Endless hits it.
That's actually ridiculous because Ringar had the 5th. Oh, okay. But yeah, he had 5th rage stat, and he used it earlier on. Just like literally, I would say half a second before getting sent off. So he's going to feel a little tilted about that one. Just a little bit.
Let's push in the mid lane. Vici, it's a slow grind to finish out the game.
We have Rumble ulti. Enchanted Crystal Arrow should be coming up any second now. Go for it. Has to be next wave.
Don't back off.
Huh?
We're going nowhere.
Harumph. Physical.
Harumph.
Yeah.
Yes.
There
Go
we
back
go.
into the mid lane. Excellent. Ash
There
arrow
we go.
lands onto.
I think it was Oki, but he was able to get out of
Not
it.
a great target, and that equalizer really did not do very much. Flandre
Oh.
getting blasted on the front lines though. He's forgotten how much damage that the Ash does, but Easyhoon, big shields on top of him. He's not going to be falling down anytime soon. Ty, he's busting out a big
Ringar's back.
dark sphere.
They're not going to be able to get anything. So that was actually really good from Vici. We saw them look for... Hello? SOFM?
He's hunting.
Nah, he's not going to
Looking
get
for a
anything.
come up. Nope.
Alright, but that was great for Vici to double down and finally look for a fight. And it finally happened where Ash was just hitting ulti. So, you know what? A lot of criticism. Apparently he's hearing us.
In some small way. 4 kills to 15. 1 minute left on Baron. This time there's no Elder Dragon for a fair while.
Yep.
There's a big difference between Baron spawn and Elder Dragon spawn. 3 minutes.
This is going to be really hard for Vici, and I'm going to have to really wonder how they'll come out ahead with this because the tie is super strong. Sure, yeah, he's 6 levels. I mean, 6 items in. Same with OQ. They scale much harder in the sense that they have much more higher range than Easyhoon. It's going to be super hard for Easyhoon to be able to impact these fights if they don't get proper setup or if he doesn't have a great, I guess, flank. So that's going to be really difficult for him. And it's going to be hard for Endless because he's an ulti bot. Let's hopefully he can get ulti on this one.
Crystal just caught warding. He'll
Yeah.
flash over the wall to his team though, who are luckily in mid lane. So it's not the end of the world. Lands onto the tie, but he had the instant cleanse out.
But that's a higher cooldown on the cleanse than it is, of course, on the Ash ulti, so that's going to be a worthwhile investment. Go back and play the long game.
Oh, Easyhoon, he's by himself. Good flash, only gets pinned against the wall, and Long is zoning away the rest of Snake.
Wait a minute, Rengar.
SOFM, he's hovering around the backside of Vici.
But that's a major win for Vici because cleanse is down on Zatai, and Vici were able to reset it to neutral. So they can just continue to play the wave game that everybody knows and loves.
Wait a minute. Vici, they're pulling the trigger. They're going top lane.
Ooh, here we go. They have the wave coming in anyway, so one person's going to be left at this. It's going to be Endless, and they're going to look to pick this fight or at least stop the Baron coming through. It is a big gambit to not have your AD
But
carry
Ash
for
is
this one.
indecisive. Ash joins the rest of the team, and now Vici are just coming in with less than 1 limb, and it means that Bengi will not get the smite down. S2FM finds it. Vici are evaporating. Long by himself, and the 1v2. Endless turns up. 1 kill, looking for another. Finds the second, but he's going to eventually fall to the rest of the gang squad from Snake. An ace, a 5 for 2, and Snake turned it around.
Yep, that's a major mistake coming out of Vici to look for that. They left their AD carry, which is fine if they look to just go and stop them at Baron and go for that split push, but as you mentioned, it was indecisiveness. They said, you know what? We need our AD carry for this fight. He came in late, much later. And these are long death timers.
This is gonna be it.
This is it. They have their AD carry. SOFM is doing a lot of damage.
They had the jungler, they had the ADC left alive, and that's gonna just spell it out in the end. It's gonna be a game 1 win to Snake, and Vici, they still cannot close a game. Game 1 to Snake.
What a game that was. I mean, they're looking pretty happy or exhausted, one or the other.
Probably both.
It's tough to tell the emotions so far after that one. But yeah, Snake takes the victory, and it just comes down to the fact that Snake were active. They wanted to fight at all points of the game, and it took a long time for OQ to come online, but he finally did. And it took a long time for Ash to be able to hit ultis, but she finally did. But didn't work out at the end of the day for Vici.
Dark days for Vici. They had all of the tools that they needed, and they still just could not finish a game of League of Legends. Or I should say, win a game of League of Legends, because they definitely finished it, but
finishing
not
it
the way that they wanted.
In a positive fashion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there we go.
Wow.
That's not even a slide anymore. That is legitimately a cliff to your own doom.
Kind of looks like the Vici logo as well, actually.
Oh, no, I don't even want to look at it that way. That is depressing.
That just feels bad. 52 minutes. It was a long game. It was a drawn-out one, and despite the massive advantage to Vici, they just cannot win. Fruscurin.
How's life?
Vici just lost with the gold lead.
Yeah.
You can see that gold graph. That game was pretty disgusting to watch, in all honesty. Have to look at Endless in particular on that Ashe. If your composition is so pivotal around hitting those big key Ashe points, like we see in this Baron fight.
And just check out the Trek.
But here, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Check out where Endless is on that map. He is nowhere near this fight, and you know that's not necessarily him saying to stay. Someone else could have told him to stay, but ultimately, he's the one that unfortunately is going to take the blame for this. AD carry wasn't there for the team fight, showed up late, missed a bunch of key pivotal arrows over the course of this entire game.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not even too sure what the right... I mean, the right play was probably just to bring your AD carry. You have the Rumble ulti. Everything works in your favor because you can be able to just trap him in the Baron pit. You might just win that team fight, regardless of whether or not you get outscaled.
Yeah,
that's just your win in team fight.
They were just trying to skew them, right? It was just like put them in a position where you're lose-lose, but they were actually just playing themselves.
Yep.
And that was it. That was the end of the game. And it was just sad to see, honestly, just at the very end, because Endless did damage. Like 1v5, he took out 2 people by himself.
But we rarely see that moment from Endless.
I mean, that's easy to take out 2 people by yourself when they're both like 10% HP and you rock up with a volley. Like, if only you had been there from the start. Starting from this game, though, it actually started in Snake's hands. SOFM, we talked about his creative Krug pathing.
Yeah.
He is always on enemy Krugs, and this time it was no different. He did it, I think, 3 times back-to-back. He invaded Bengi's Krug camp. He then went up into the top lane and then transitioned that into First Blood kills repeatedly on Long. The problem is the 4th or 3rd time around, Long started to turn it around. You know, they try to hand over the kill to Flandre. Suddenly, the Rumble picks one up.
Yeah, this was great from SOFM to be able to do this. And so a lot of times, yeah, sure, I think this turns into a kill on Long. Yeah, it does. And it was just basically, Vici had to do something about this. And the fact that they tracked this was great enough because they were just getting robbed under their noses.
Yeah, but the thing is Long starts to turn it around, and then suddenly you have this Rumble, who all of the resources that Snake had thrown into trying to shut him down, it doesn't mean anything. It's been absorbed. And I'm like, Vici, they've got it. Long's popping off on the Rumble. He's starting to kill people. He's picking up kills here. But the problem is they never use it. Like, literally, there's a moment during the Infernal Dragon where Long is level 16, and Vici could totally fight for Infernal, and they give it away for free. And they trade it technically for top lane inner tower, which you're like, well, you get the structure advantage, but... Or you could just kill them, take the Infernal, and then get the tower itself.
See, here's the thing. There's 2 types of trading. You trade when you're behind. It's because you're like, hey, you know what? Any gold is good gold because we won't be able to take them on a 1v1, right? And then there's trading when you're afraid of fighting. And so this is a problem with Vici, that they have a lead throughout the entirety of the game. They have good team fighting, but they're just not fighting because, honestly, they're afraid of it. People will look at this game and say, I mean, that's a tough tell. But that happens in previous games as well. And so SOFM coming with the big win on this one. Not afraid of fighting.
No, he goes back to the jungle, and he just has back-to-back stand-up performances. It's a return to form for SOFM. Whatever happened to him is pretty much just gone. It's in the past right now. So, well played.
Yeah, and so the man is doing God's work, coming in as the jungler. So he's doing a great amount of work, and I think that it can only get better from here.
Yeah, and it does help the fact that with Endless, sorry, I had to think about his name, with Endless missing all of those key arrows for SOFM to shine, because the one thing that would really punish him for being out of position is that Ash arrow. And he hit a couple of them that SOFM paid for, but ultimately it was kind of like a get out of jail free card because consistently those Ash arrows were not connecting with priority targets.
Yeah, I was told to check my comm system, but it is currently down. So we don't have that information, but it's probably something to do with a substitution.
Woo!
All right, who's gonna deliver this one?
I got it.
Okay,
go ahead.
So Vici have a full other squad. If you look at their sub list, they have another 7 players sitting on their roster, including a guy named Peng, who has played in the mid lane before for them. And guess what? He's playing mid lane for Vici. What does that mean? It means Easy Hoon's playing in the support position. So it is Peng that is subbing in for Vici in mid lane, and Easy Hoon playing support.
What even?
So
like,
I mean, here's the thing. Because they're playing Snake, so suddenly they got to out-Snake the Snake. So here, like, Peng is primarily, he has played mid lane. And so that's fair for him to be able to go to that position. Suddenly, it's not fair. I mean, it's not so much that it's unfair. It's just weird that you have Easy
all of
in the
all
support
the
position.
things that you could have done.
Let me help out Vici Gaming here right now.
Okay.
That is not your problem. Your problem is your 80 carry. If you're going to move someone around anywhere, put them in the 80 carry position. They do not have a bottom lane. Like,
it's a bit of, okay, so now I'm gonna
he did not
disagree.
hit.
That's fair. That is fair.
Literally missed 6 arrows in a row.
That's fair. I mean, we pointed it out a lot, but at the same time, Hintong has not been doing them much favor as well. So I want to see how it works out. We might be seeing something successful, so let's go.
Well, Raz, we're going to dive deeper into that after the break because that is a bombshell. But we're going to take a quick break as we head in to Game 2 between Snake and Vici.